All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Pillars of Eternity. My name's Dan. I'll be your host. I have just downloaded Pillars of Eternity on Steam, and I am ready to launch it. So let's see how we go. I agree. Oh god, that sounded horrible. Hopefully nothing is going wrong here. Some audio glitching going on here. Hopefully it smooths itself out. Turn the music volume down slightly. Effects volume, voice volume all the way up. Master volume just slightly down. This is usually how I like to adjust things. The graphics we have 1598 by 833. This is 1600 by 900. Sure, we'll VSync full screen. Colorblind mode, that's pretty cool, but not something that really applies to me. Big heads. We have chibi people. Show party endurance as numbers. Okay. Well, not a lot of this means much to me yet because I haven't played the game yet, but we'll go ahead and leave the rest of this as is. Auto pause. I understand that pausing is a big part of this game, so you probably want to pause on character death. Character damage is probably a little excessive. Low health. Enemy spotted, that seems pretty reasonable. Weapon ineffective, that's a pretty good one. Whoa. The audio all of a sudden took a dump. Definitely going to be reporting that one. But it came right back, which is the weird thing. In fact, I experienced similar problems with Torchlight 2, so I wonder if this is a problem with my machine. Okay. Party select. Mouse 0. Well, obviously has a problem with me selecting anything. So, attack cursor, cancel action. It looks like this is mostly just a mouse-driven game, rather. So I'm not going to worry too much about the rest of this. Pretty obvious things like I for inventory, J for journal. Yeah, we'll want all this on. Developer commentary, that would be interesting. So, we'll go ahead and leave things as is. And let's go. Oh, you know, this really is the first time I've played a game like this, even though I was very interested in it. So we will go ahead and start easy. If I find it's too easy, then I can always adjust the difficulty. Oh, nice. It fades from the title screen into the intro. That was unexpected. To sneak up on enemies, use scouting mode.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Indeed, we will go no further. Okay, character creation. You will find me largely in the I don't give a fuck mode, so I will be a male warrior just to make things easy. Male. Human. See, we got Arumana. Okay, this is obviously some sort of large elfish sort of race. You know, your typical dwarf. Typical elf. This looks like some sort of a halfling. Like a cat-like halfling race. Godlike. Whoa. That is really strange. Like this, the effects on his head are moving. He doesn't even have eyes. He's got horns. That's really freaky. But like I said, I like to simplify things. Meadowfolk. My guess is this is supposed to be like a hobbit thing. The most common humans in the Drywood, the Meadowfolk, or Thirton, have lived in the area for almost 2,000 years. Meadowfolk traditionally live at the edges of elven forest, walking the open plains, hence their name. Most humans in the Deerwood are Thirton. Okay, so you get perks based on your subrace. Fighting Spirit. Once per encounter, 5 seconds after being reduced below 50% endurance, folk temporarily gain bonuses to accuracy and damage. Ocean folk. Looks like black people. Or red guards. That makes sense because, you know, red guards are typically pirates. Is that the same bonus? Yeah. Fighting Spirit, and Fighting Spirit. Do they get anything additionally? Nope. So it looks like this is mostly just cosmetic. Wow, you got all kinds of subclasses here. Barbarian, Cypher. I don't know what Cypher is. A Mind Hunter. Got a Fighter, which is probably what I'll go with. Starting ability of constant recovery. Fighters continually regenerate endurance at a modest rate during combat. Paladin. You know, your typical holy warrior. A ranger, somebody who's attuned to the forest and all that. Yeah. A bowman. Wizard. Obvious. Chanter. The most ancient workers of magic, their hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. Okay. A druid. A reverence for the natural world. Okay. A monk, obviously a fist fighter. Priest. Personal beliefs define their power. And a rogue, you know, obviously you're thief. But like I said, I like to simplify things, so we'll be a fighter. So we get abilities. So I get to pick one of these. Disciplined barrage. The fighter intensely focuses on his or her training, significantly raising accuracy for a short amount of time. Or knockdown. Shoves an enemy with enormous force, knocking them prone but causing little damage. I was a big fan of the knockover shield ability in Dragon Age, so I'm going to go with that one. Okay, attribute points. Might, Constitution, Dexterity, Perception, Intellect, and Resolve. Okay, all of those are pretty obvious. I'm a fan of Constitution. And we'll do a little bit of Dex, a little bit of Perception. I do like Intellect. So, a little bit more strength. Culture. Okay, so none of these things mean anything to me, so we'll just look at their bonuses. Resolve +1, Dex +1, Resolve, Intellect, Constitution, Might, and Perception. So we'll go with Constitution +1. Background. Another bonus thing. Stealth and Survival, Athletics and Mechanics. So these are obviously sub-abilities. So, I mean, it's like Fallout, you know, you have your base abilities and everything that all of the other skills kind of go off of those base abilities. So, I don't even know what lore would mean. Maybe we'll do Athletics and Survival, huh? Colors. Don't care. We'll make them pink. And skin. Oh, that's all the darker your skin can go. That's racist. Give him white hair. And a huge beard. Kind of like the hair as it was. Mohawk, nice. Yeah, that one's good. Looks like a some sort of a wild man. Oh, and the portraits that have nothing to do with the characters as they're created. I bet you can upload these just like you did in Wasteland. Now, what's something that would not be completely dishonest? Well, the hair's right there. Seems like they got way more female ones. That almost looks like his face. Maybe we'll change his hair color to more normal. There we go. That's actually pretty close. Do I have a preview here? Oh, come on. You can preview it, can't you? I don't hear anything. How am I supposed to pick it? We'll do stoic. And I shall be boring. Done. Okay. We will journey to the Gilded Vale. Oh, I'm a Kickstarter backer. Yay. Which is true. I did back this thing. The Caravan Master finishes addressing the group, his bushy red mustache and sagging jowls quivering as if for emphasis. As far as I know, this game is voice acted. Let's see, where am I? That doesn't look like me.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods toward a looming black mass on the hillside. Okay, that voice actor is very obviously the main guy from Wasteland 2, who also is the first one to speak in that game.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last the Caravan Master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards, unless you don't drink water, course, which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry, about the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Okay. So this is kind of like Dragon Age or Knights of the Old Republic, where you just have a bunch of different choices. Whereas in Wasteland 2, you only had a single word to go by. Where did I find these berries? What are those ruins? Is it dangerous out here? What are these huge rocks coming up out of the ground? Or I'll go see about those berries then.
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one.
I'll take your word for it.
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pond, so I hear.
The hell's a pond? Your character's attributes, skill, class, race, culture, and sex might all open up options for you in dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to the other responses, but give you a wide variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choices depends on their individual personality and attitude. Well, that closed on its own. Who did build the ruins?
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much.
Dangerous?
Not if you hurry about your business. And not if the weather holds up.
There is concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate.
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never care to.
Where are all these huge rocks coming up out of the ground?
They don't got Audra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories.
I don't.
It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days.
Folks think a lot of things.
The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Gotcha. I will go see about those berries then.
Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
He scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy, armor-clad woman who has spent the journey's night sleeping on uneven ground without blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up in her own time.
He needs to find some spring berries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
He casts a sidelong glance at her.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
Adema's small grin recedes beneath his mustache, and he is stern once more. Welcome to Pillars of Eternity. If this is your first visit to the world of Eora, you may want to watch these windows to become familiar with the tools and interfaces available to you. Your party also always consists of your characters and up to 5 additional companions and adventurers. While the caravan is camped outside the Glonfothan ruins, Adema is assigned Kaliska to help you. Kaliska is a fighter, class that excels at close quarter defense. Okay, so I picked a fighter and he gave me another fighter. Use her abilities to complement your own. To select a party member, click on their selection circle, their portrait, or press the number button that corresponds to the position in the party, starting with 1 on the left. To select multiple party members, click and hold anywhere on the screen and drag the marquee over the circles of the party members you'd like to include. Yeah, so your typical multiple selection fare. To move selected characters, click anywhere on the screen where the cursor is a circle of 4 wedges. All selected characters will push to their corresponding position in the formation. If you see a red circle with a slash through it, you cannot walk on that part of the map. Okay, you see down here, this sort of dialogue box thing. This is a direct rip from Wasteland 2. It was like some sort of a printer in that game. But now we're in a high fantasy setting, so it's funny. Oh, did I just forfeit the rest of my tutorial? Game paused. What happens if I hit the spacebar? It's unpaused.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
Okay. So...
What you need?
Okay, so select these 2. And they go where I right click. Gotcha. So I assume I go up here.
Anyone need supplies?
Most
I've got
people you
sundries for
encounter
sale.
in the world are neutral or friendly. You can interact with them by clicking on their selection circle. Many characters will simply greet you and go on their way, but others will have larger conversations to explore. The merchant Heoden has a conversation that opens a store with equipment for sale. Okay.
Yeah.
You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road.
He shakes his head and laughs when he notices you. He scratches one cheek with his knuckles. It's covered with uneven stubble, as if he hasn't quite gotten used to shaving on the road.
Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look.
Who are you?
I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
He looks at his wagon and grins ruefully. Might as well try. With an outlook like that, I'm sure you do well. If you think these caravans are prickly, watch out for those axe wielders Odima mentioned. And how incredibly naive. I'm surprised you've lasted this long. My thoughts exactly.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Tell me about the Ader Empire.
It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Saris and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire, a fact our companions are quick to remind me of.
He gives you a lopsided grin and nods at the other scattered caravaneers. Is it caravaneers? Okay. Why'd you move all the way out here?
Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Saris? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Okay. Deerwood is a former Adir colony, so it seems like a good place to start. As much as I admire this Red Saren's work ethic, they've always struck me as a little fanatical. So it seems like the dialogue only goes so far in this game, just like in Wasteland 2. They'll voice some things and not others. Sounds reasonable enough. That's high-minded of you, or seems like you got the short end of the stick. Out here, I'm just taking it one day at a time. Okay. Stores allow you to trade and sell your items for copper pieces or items in the store's inventory. Merchants buy items from you at a greatly reduced price. If you sell something, you may see it appear in the store's inventory with a much higher cost. Stores periodically refresh their inventories. Okay. So we got a crossbow, greatsword, hunting bow, pike, quarterstaff, warbow, battle axe. What do I have already? A cloak of the Obsidian Order. Of Gon's Pledge. Well, these just seem like trinkets. A giant miniature space piglet. Okay, I have a feeling this is some sort of a backer bonus. This tiny titanic pig has an otherworldly appearance that seems to be at odds with its endearing behavior. It follows you dutifully and requires nothing in return save companionship. Okay, so if I'm a fighter, I just want a sword. But do I come with a sword? You'd think it would say if I did. I have 100 gold right now. She apparently has nothing. Stash, party. So, what I mean is my stash, my shared inventory. I want to buy a sword, but I'm not entirely sure that I don't have one. Let's get out of here from now. We'll go into inventory. See what I have. It's a bunch of stats. It's hardly an inventory. Okay. So she appears to be wielding an axe and some sort of thing. That's a weird looking item. Okay, so she does already have a battle axe and a torch. Okay, that's a torch. Why did I not even notice the flame behind it? And I have a poleaxe. Fine with me. Okay, so I don't really think I need anything at this point. Talk to Kaliska.
Springberries grow wild all over the place here. Keep your eye out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Exploration is key in Pillars of Eternity. As you make your way through the Eastern Reach, open the area map to see what parts of the map you've already been to and what is left to explore. Now it seems like I was only moving one person.
Right.
Now does it have like a multiple or single person thing? Select all. Okay, so I'm left clicking now and I'm still moving. Sparfell.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Okay. So I'm keeping an eye out for berries. Do you see any berries? Got Admint's wort. That's not a berry. This path winds through a narrow canyon back the way you came.
We shouldn't stray too far.
Okay.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
The fuck is an outcropping? Oh no. It's a wolf. We'll totally kill him. A pausable real-time system. Because you'll often manage more than one character at a time, it's a good idea to pause the game, issue orders, and resume real-time play to see the orders play out. The options menu also contains many choices for automatic pausing when certain conditions are met, e.g. the start of combat. So... seem to be doing pretty well. Okay. I think we won. When a party member takes damage, they will start to lose endurance and health. Their portrait will begin to fill with a red overlay, and the health bar to the left of the portrait will slowly start to decrease. When the portrait fills entirely red, the character will be knocked out. Potions and spells can be used to restore endurance to keep characters in the fight, but health can only be restored by... Oh, it didn't even give me a chance to finish reading that. I'm sure I'll figure it out. Young wolf has wolf hide. It's hide, not pelt. Is that a berry?
This is it.
Yep, that's a berry. Receive quests, your journal will update with relevant information. If you ever get stuck, open it to review your notes. Kaliska. Oh, she's a slave? So what's a slave doing in the... Oh. It's because I am a slave. She's reacting to the fact that I am a slave. So what's a slave doing in the pre-Palatinate of Deerwood? Guessing those marks on your back didn't come from loving caresses. I was on a galley at sea. I used to work on a large farming estate. I was an indentured servant, or that isn't your business. Am I making this up as I go? Or is this actually determining what my background is? I I do remember one of my sub-choices for a human was a farming person. So... and a seaman too. But I just said I was a slave, right? So I don't entirely remember what I picked. Yeah? How's it happen to come here? Took a long time, but my debt is paid. We were liberated by an invading army, or I fled, had to leave my family behind. You do what you can do to survive. What else can someone be expected to do? Eat pizza. Kaliska breathes in her surroundings. It's been a long time since I've been this way, but I always did like it. Lord Raedric's offer. Makes a girl think. I'll give him that. Oh, shoot. You won't find many offers like it in these parts, believe me. Got some big plan in store? Going to settle here and start a new life? Going to lay low here for a while, trying not to draw too much attention to myself? Getting filthy rich, or I have no idea what I'm going to do next. I'm going to settle here and start a new life. Well, who knows? Raedric pays well enough. Maybe we end up neighbors. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Odema will give me an earful. Let's be on our way. Why are you here? Kaliska sighs unevenly. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. She sent me a letter. She seemed worried. But that's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out, and that's got me a little worried. I haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Zamatil. But I'll do anything for her. She's a much better woman than me. So I'm here and we'll see. Odema I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. Got simple needs. I like open skies and far horizons. I find work that lets me live that way. My family wanders too. We started in Deerwood, but my parents end up in the living lands. I've got a brother in Rawatai, and another in Adir. My sister's in Gilded Vale. She's the only real homebody. What can you tell me about Deerwood? I'm not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire. Broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. I've been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People have having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. With an uneasy tremor in her voice, she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. Okay, let's get back to camp. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfle's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like when he feels like it. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come on, let's get your water. Already gained 170 experience. Wait, that's where the road ended. Can I zoom out? It's over here. There's water. Where's the lazy so-and-so? Ooh, backpack.
What a surprise. Sparfle went hunting.
You crouch at the riverbank and dip your water skin into the cool water while Kaliska waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look up sharply towards the tree line. Out of the trees emerges Sparfell, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait, a spastic wobble in his ordinary deft strides as he moves towards you with labored breath.
Sparfle? Are you alright?
Caliska frowns. Sparfle's toe catches on a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Oh no. Poor Sparfle.
Ambush!
Oh shit, son. Okay. Which one do we want to attack first? Get any information? No. We don't know. So we will attack him.
Yeah.
Auto-paused, weapon ineffective.
Yeah.
Sometimes a weapon or spell simply isn't well suited to penetrating an enemy's damage reduction. While the attack hits, the DR will wipe out all but a small percentage of the incoming damage. You'll hear your characters complain about it when it happens. Take heed. Note the damage type that's being blocked and switch to a weapon or spell that does a different type of damage. I don't see what else I would switch to at this point. They're both fighters. Is it just going to pause every time that I use an ineffective weapon? Okay, we will attack him now. Just a hunter. Does my weapon just suck? Okay, we got him.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Okay. So he has a hunting bow. And mail armor. Let's see if I could put that on. 4 coins. Yay.
Yeah. Right.
Am I not selecting all of them? So why is the battle music still going? I am going... No, this is not back. This is back. More enemies. Oh snap. Oh, its weapon is ineffective on me. Right? That's definitely what I'm getting. Your characters have become fatigued. Represents physical and psychological wear and tear of demanded activity on a character. Builds up over time as characters travel, explore, and especially when they engage in combat. Some scripted interactions will also result in fatigue if they are especially grueling. The athletic skill automatically slows the onset of fatigue from any source. Goes through multiple stages, initially inflicting minor penalties but growing in severity over time. Resting is the easiest way of removing the effects of fatigue. Those consumables can also lower a character's fatigue total. What you got? So you got everything that the last characters had and more. Oh shit! They wiped out my party and stuff. You bastards. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy on the blood-damp earth. Caliska puts the back of her left hand to their mouth, as if to ward away the horror like a poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stand above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from bodies as if from half-split logs as they prepare to add you to the sprawling pile beneath them. One of them, towering and severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Heoden, the last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. Oh, looks like I have a dialogue option with a bonus. Lore 1. The ruin has not been sullied by our hands, men of Galanfath. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. Okay, so these guys are like bandits who have like an honor code or something. Disposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity, but if your main character is a priest or paladin, you must be careful not to misalign their dispositions with what is favored by their deity and order, respectively. For the main character only, their dispositions will modify the effects of holy radiance for priests and faith and conviction for paladins. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them. They mean to kill us all. Only a fool attacks a weak enemy while a stronger one yet lives. The man considers this, looking you up and down. Yet. He shoves Heoden towards you. As he does so, the man rakes his blade against Heoden's torso. Heoden screams and stumbles forward, a wide gash in his clothing begins to bloom crimson. The man sets his feet to engage you, his axe raised high. So, like, he's dead, right? No, he's not dead yet. Maybe the default's to attack and I just don't know it. My guess is he probably joins your party after this. Your enemy lies supine on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in weaving, fitful gasps. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs, a whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin like a jetty beginning to succumb to the surge of a great wave, and where it pierces you, you feel as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amongst the howling maelstrom, slashed across chest and bowel, Odima's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head, his eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
A little laggy. Might just be the recording software though. Straining against a gale that threatens to pull you off your feet with every step, you set your hands in the worn folds of weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. The last burst of energy before your arms get out, you swing yourself up on the ledge. Heoden trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers, who has been feigning death, lunges for Heoden and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Heoden lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They are close to you. Despite the wind from your position, if you were to throw your weapon at the attacker, you would have a good chance at hitting your mark. Oh no, I don't have 15 dexterity. So I assume that 1 is going to be an automatic miss, but I think 3 might be a bad disposition. So, but then again, 1 might cause me to lose my weapon. Your aim is true, and the hit jars Heoden loose. Lurching to his feet, Heoden clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. But diving out on the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength. It feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Heoden to set his feet and join you on the trembling bridge, or ledge. There's a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust menaces the old stone before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight. And loading. It's like we fall.
Was that?
I guess I was wrong. He did survive.
A Bewick. Had to be.
Heoden's words come between wheezing gasps.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
Indeed.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
She eyes the ragged slash across Heoden's belly. Heoden's jaw tightens. He nods. Okay. So we've fallen into a cavern of some kind.
Huh. Right.
Lower level of the ruins has been blocked off by fallen rubble.
That should be far enough. But what now?
Heoden's chest rises and falls visibly with each breath.
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened out there? Who attacked us? What about everyone else in our caravan? You don't seem too upset about all this, or let's get going. Who attacked us? Gelfanans. Fanthans. They'd be those hut dwellers Odama warned you about. Look to be the fangs of Galwain, who are the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin, looking for fights with colonists. Poor Odama. I think he half expected this once we lost the main road. Kaliska shakes her head. Windstorm. The kind they only get in Air Galnfath. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. The Glanfathan word is Biawak. To them, it's the gods' way of reaping the souls of the land that couldn't find their own way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours. The Glanfin said we've trespassed in the ruins. I don't believe that. Odama would never allow it. But as much as the Fangs are hotheads, I can't handle this word. Glanfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or... She glances down the passage beyond. Or there's looters in here with us. That's not something we need right now. What about everyone else in our caravan? Callista's lips press together and her chin rumbles. Her voice is faint. The wheels got hold of them now. She looks up. Gods grant them better luck in their next lives. Callista looks in the eye and volatile current run beneath her voice. Maybe you just don't know me well enough to know what upset looks like. And maybe I've seen worse too. Seen worse and kept on walking, because there's nothing else to be done. Because there's other people you care about who still need you. Let's get going. Heoden takes a step forward and his knee buckles, and before anyone can catch him, he stumbles to the ground, his cheeks striking the time-worn cobbles. On unsteady legs, he claws his way up the wall and back to his feet, but his stance is shaky, like a sailor walking on land after a time at sea.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours?
He nods at the gash across his midsection.
Seems quiet off to the left. Might be a place to rest there.
You discovered some camping supplies. You can use these to rest in the wilderness or dungeons, fully restoring all of your character's abilities and health. Easy difficulty allows you to carry more camping supplies, but hard restricts them severely. If you would just let me finish reading the fucking things.
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put. Those Glonfathans were riled about something. Could be we got company in here. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
Please, I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
I have to choose.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either got to find the exit or a damn good place to hide.
We've got to take the risk and let him rest. We need all three of us at full strength. Or Callista's right. We have to press on. We don't know what we're up against. I have a feeling that unless we rest, we probably will end up losing him. So...
This will be the end of us. No offense, but there's people out there I'd much rather die for.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So off to the left.
Sure.
Someone else has been here. We should move.
A crate with a bunch of shit. So what happens if we camp here? Okay, that's a take all. So, how do we use camping supplies? I do not own the stronghold yet. Okay. Okay, so how do I use it? Controls. Camp. It's not bound. Right bracket. Sure. Camping will use one set of camping supplies. Do you want to camp here? Hayden stretches as he wakes, gingerly probing the gash across the stomach. The flesh has begun to knit together.
By the gods, that's better. I think I'm ready to find a way out.
He sits up quickly and looks around the chamber. She really did leave us. She won't get far unless... He crawls to his knees and begins rummaging through the equipment with mounting desperation.
Damn her. She took all our water.
If we hurry, maybe we can catch her. Nothing we can do about it now. Let's go. I hope she made it out of here, or with any luck, she'll meet the end she deserves on her own. Nothing we can do about it now. Let's go. Alright, so then there were two. So I guess that choice was probably picking between the party members. If I'd have been thinking, though, I would have taken whatever supplies she had and given them to us. So can I save at any point? Yeah. Sweet. Easton reaches a dangerous place full of lurking enemies and carefully concealed secrets. Enable scouting mode to search for stealthily and search for hidden objects like traps and secret doors. Okay. So, I think this is going to do it for now. I'm going to take a break and maybe come back to this. Thanks for watching.